G'day troops, Tomo with you. Welcome back to Sideways as usual, and welcome to the third instalment of What's in My Garage, where we'll be checking out my trio of Tamiya classics. Let's get into it. Alright, here we are. We have the Tamiya the Grasshopper, 1984. Tamiya the Grasshopper 2, 1988. And my personal favourite, the Hornet, 1984. Probably had these kits for quite a while before I decided to get stuck in and build them. Just mainly because I wanted to get all the electronics and everything prior to starting the build, so I didn't have to wait. So in the mid to late 80s, when these were released and were probably the most popular vehicles on the market, being a young fella, seeing them in the local toy slash hobby shop, always looked at them. Never probably could afford one myself, especially, and not even knowing anything about hobby grade stuff, and up until recently, not until I got back into RC cars, knowing about hobby grade stuff. Didn't even realise they came as a kit and you had to build it yourself, and with the addition of having to buy your own electronics, like your transmitter and all that. I had no idea. Obviously had a few toy grade RC cars over the years. Probably the best one was a 1/10 scale Trans Am Firebird. Thinking about it now, was probably right on the edge of toy, like high-end toy grade, just below getting into hobby grade. Like, it was a pretty good car. But anyway, I would see these guys in the shops, thought they were awesome. Never got the opportunity to get one. So the vehicle most of us had back in the day, when you couldn't afford a Tamiya, was a jet hopper. Not quite sure of the brand, what that was. Tamico, maybe something like that. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But anyway, seeing them all growing up and making a bit of my own money, I decided to look into getting at least a Grasshopper and a Hornet, and came across the Grasshopper 2, which I probably prefer the style of the body of the Grasshopper 2 to the original Grasshopper, but it's all subjective stuff. Construction wise, pretty straightforward. Instructions are pretty easy to follow. The only thing I think I struggled with the Grasshopper was getting the alignment on the front end set up. It was the best I could get it. It still pulls a little to one side, but as I've read people say, that it's only really on hard surface where you notice it that much. Otherwise, on the dirt, you're making steering adjustments all the time. And the back end of the Grasshopper 2, the way they have the little springs, the same for the Hornet. These little springs in part of the back end that you had to try and put in, and then put other parts in without them falling out. But they improved. They had the same thing on the back of the Hornet. They made it with a little piece that you screw in, which holds the thing together, then you put in, and then you can take that out afterwards, so that made it a lot easier. With the Hornet, as I said, it's probably my most preferred. I was thinking about doing something bling with the body, but then I thought, nah, you always saw it with just the black, like as it is on the box. So I was like, oh, I'll just do it black. But then I thought, nah, I might as well put a bit of a spin on it, like black with a spin. So I've got this sort of gold marble effect paint. So I sprayed a bit of satin clear in first, then put the gold in, and then you put the black on the back of that, and then seal the black. So it like gives it this kind of marble effect. Looks pretty sweet. I hadn't used that paint for quite a while, so when I first did the wing, it was a bit heavy-handed because you just need to basically, as fast as you can, swing it across, so you get that kind of marble vein look in it. It's pretty awesome. I haven't done any modifications to any of the shocks or anything. I'm just keeping these mainly, not really shelf queens, but like using them just for a bit of fun out in the front yard. Haven't taken them anywhere else yet, but getting the opportunity is the thing. So I've done they're a bit hard to see in there. Done the drivers. They probably end up looking about as good as I probably would have been able to do them back in the day. I'm not the most artistic, but I had a crack at it, and I'm pretty happy with the way they turned out. A bit hard to get a close up in there. The guy in the grasshopper, he looks like he's just about to pass out. See if I can get a close up here. He's a bit red faced, and his eyes sort of mess the eyes up a little bit, but not too bad. So while I've got the body off that, we'll have a look at what I put inside. Now you got these, all three had the same electronics. Using my FlySky receiver for the GT3C. I think I got a packet. I've had 2 or 3 from the other cars that I bought, and bought a pack of 4 receivers, I think it was. That was only like 16 bucks. So, and I think I've still got at least 4 memory slots left on the transmitter. So yeah, all the same electronics, just the stock motors, the 380 on the Grasshopper and Grasshopper 2, and the 540 on Hornet. I did consider going with brushless to start at first, but the guy I bought the kits off, he was like, oh yeah, it wouldn't go anything more than like a 60 amp ESC brushless. He said because they like the stuff wasn't really designed for super high speeds and whatnot, so I think just keep them brushed, and if the motors go out, I'll just probably upgrade the Grasshopper and the Grasshopper 2 up to 540s at some point, if the 380s die. But yeah, they're still fun to zoom around. So I've got just these pretty budget friendly Tanghong RC servos, 20 kilos. probably would have, some slimline ones would have been probably better, but that was what I got. They worked a little slow, but pretty good for this application. And I went with the Hobby Wing 1060 ESCs. Yeah, no programmability or any crap like that. You just change your pins for your how you want them to run with your forward, reverse, etc., and your LiPo and nickel metal battery, and that's about it. I did, because I've got a bunch of batteries already, I was like, oh, I can use them, and I should have really taken the time to see if they would fit, because I've got all hard case lipos, mostly Z lipos, and they're all basically the same size. So if I had have checked first to make sure they would fit, then I could have, because these ESCs come with a Tamiya plug on them, but because I thought, oh yeah, I should be able to use my batteries, and then in the end they didn't fit, and I'd already changed this one over to the Dean's plug, so I had to do a bit of research on the battery front, and I just got one, oh, got two more batteries on the way, but I've just got one 2200 milliamp hour soft case 2S that easily fits in there. So I sort of measured up the where you put the battery in, and 2200 milliamps was the best fitting. If you go up to say 33 or bigger, the size of them increased a bit too much to fit in there easily. So I'll have a battery for each of these, but with these electronics and the smaller motors, especially in the grasshoppers, it lasts for ages. So I haven't had these out running for quite a while I've been working on other stuff, but they are great fun to drive. These friction shocks are quite amusing to watch driving around. It's just bounce all over the place. I think I've got a couple of bits of footage of the grasshoppers running. Haven't filmed the Hornet yet, so I'll have to get the battery on charge and include that footage at the end. So I think that's about it. Alright, that's enough waffle. Here comes the running footage. stuck in the garden. I was having an issue with the grasshopper yesterday. I got the grasshopper too. Get to wheelie. Oh, backflip. Bouncier than anything you can think of that's bouncy. Not bad speed out of the little 380 brush. No damage. Do a speed run on the street, but any moment you think about driving on the street, every prick needs to drive down it. First rollover. Something got no brakes. Alright troops, that'll do it for this video. Next week I'll be doing a bit of a tangent from the What's in My Garage series, but that video is directly related to the series of vehicles that I'll be showing after that. So stick around and I'll catch you next week. See ya.